777 Bobby. That's phone number. Maybe you have a question. Maren's a woman of the people. She'll talk to the people. I know Maren. She loves the people, right, Maren? Is your mic up? There she is.
All right.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
We've only had like 4 guests in, so we're still figuring out the studio thing. So, yeah.
I love it. It's so slick.
Thank you.
Look at you guys.
I built it all with my hands. I'm very,
I was saying, like, it reminds me of Howard Stern.
I'm so jealous that you got to do that. You know, when there was at one point when he first found your video, he found your interview on my show. And then
Really?
He was like, who is this guy? And they were like, oh, he's a big fan. And then he started talking about you.
That's cool.
That was our little connection. How was that? Was that fun?
Yeah, it was pretty trippy, but he was so kind. Like, he was really nice to my band and talked to, like, each and every one of them, including me. Like, it was, like, an hour, and you don't really know what the schedule is going to look like. Like, you just hold your instruments until he's, like, done with the conversation, and then he's like, oh, yeah, maybe you should play a song. But it was cool. He's obviously just an amazing conversationalist. Like, he can just talk to you and get deep about anything, so it's a gift.
It's one of my heroes, David Letterman, Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Who are yours? That's interesting. Like, who do you look up to and go, oh, man, if I had to pick heroes?
Heroes. I mean, definitely, like, in everything that she's done in her career, probably Dolly Parton. After working with her earlier this year on the Grammys, that was just such a life lesson of how to conduct your business and treat people, and she still sounds just clear as a bell like she did back in the 70s. And so, yeah, I mean, I've always looked up to her more than just like as a songwriter, but just as a businesswoman.
What about personally? Who do you look to and go, man, personally, this is one of my heroes?
Personally? Oh, man. I mean, this sounds like very cliche, but like my mom, like she's such a self-starter. She started her own business. She's a hairdresser. So she started her own business like 25 years ago. And, you know, we never had like a ton of money growing up, but she and my dad were always, they had that entrepreneurial spirit, and like nothing was handed to us. So we really had to just like go out and work for things. And yeah, so probably personally on that level, her.
Maren Morris is here. So we grew up pretty similar. I mean, it wasn't like we had all these resources just thrown at us. Like, how do you go after music? You know, because the instruments aren't cheap. You know, guitars aren't cheap. Like, how did you make money as a kid in order to keep, you know, playing music? You know, car payments, insurance payments, stuff like that.
I mean, in Texas, I would play gigs as a kid and as a teenager and do like everything from honky tonks to chili cook-offs and just every weird thing in between. And I paid for my first car in cash with my gig money. It was
What kind of car was that?
It was a 1998 Montero Sport, so it was like an SUV, so I felt really tall for the first time. And yeah, I mean, it was weird to just not have a car payment. All my other friends did, and I just paid for it in full with my gig money. Just found it on like Craigslist.
Maren Morris is here. Hey, I want to put Alex on in Missouri who wants to ask a question about girl. Hey, Alex, how are you? Hey, Alex, you're on the show. You there, bud? Going once. Do we have Alex raised? He hung up. He probably freaked out.
Yeah, we should have him.
All right, Alex, one more shot, bud. This is once in a lifetime opportunity here. People pay much money to get a meet and greet with Maren Morris. Alex in Missouri, going once. All right, we got to hang up on Alex, Raymundo.
Sorry, Alex.
Sorry, Alex, you missed it. What are your meet and greets like before a show? Do you do them before or after?
Before.
And how many people will you meet?
I mean, with my headline stuff, it was 50. Plus like radio, so it ends up being like closer to 75. But
So it's about an hour before a show. You'll dedicate about an hour.
yeah,
Do you worry about your voice before a show? Because there's a lot of talking involved there.
yeah. I've started to, like it does take a toll just like talking that often every day before a show. So I don't know, like, but I love getting to meet everyone, and there's so many of my fans that are like recurring, you know, meet and greeters, so that I'll see them, you know, several times on a tour, and it's just nice to like see familiar faces. But yeah, like I do have to warm up before the meet and greet sometimes, just because I know that I'm going to be talking for an hour before the show.
What does your warm-up sound like? Because warm-ups are often ridiculous sounding.
Yeah, there's never like a cool one.
Right. What does your warm-up sound like? What do you do?
I I've been doing the same one for probably 20 years. It's this guy, Roger Love, and he was a vocal coach. At the time, I was like a kid, and my mom bought his book, and this is so weird, but Taylor Hanson from Hanson, when he went through puberty, like his voice lowered, and so he went to this guy, this vocal coach, so he could still sing Bop in the original key.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, well, if it worked for him, it will work for me. So it's just like go 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 go. Like it's a bunch of those.
And how many of
scales.
those do you do?
It's like a 10-minute. I still have like party girl morning voice right now, so this isn't a good example, but it's like a 10-minute warm up.
Did you go out last night?
I've had the last 2 days of rehearsals with the High Women, so we have a show this Friday. So we've just been hammering away. We have a lot of songs on the record, so we've been rehearsing a bunch the last 2 days.
We'll definitely talk about that coming up too. I do have Alex who called back. We're gonna give him one other shot. Alex, I was waiting for you. Are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, it's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl. Hi, I can hear you now, Alex. Alex, you're on. You're on with Maren Morris.
Hi, oh my gosh, Maren, I'm a biggest fan of you.
Hi.
I love all of your albums. I listen to Hero all the time.
Thanks.
And I wanted to ask you what your favorite track on Girl is.
It changes, honestly. Like after I went on tour, it would change every night. But I love singing, obviously, "Girl," and we always start the show with that one. And then I love "The Bones." Like that's a really emotional one to sing each night. And then probably "Song for Everything," maybe. I don't know. It really is a day-by-day basis. But I would say those are my top three. I can't give you the top one.
Alex, what do you think? What's your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I love Girl. I find it very empowering. I also really enjoy Make Out With Me.
Okay,
She
thanks.
put 5 reallys.
I love it.
That's a lot of reallys.
Thanks.
Well, Alex, thank you for listening to the show. Thanks for calling and talking to Maren.
Yeah.
Thank
Nice to meet you.
guys.
Yeah, nice to sort of meet you.
Yeah.
By the way, Maren's here because your song's going to go #1 this week. I don't think I'm jinxing it in any way. I don't think it's a jinx.
Okay.
But how does that feel? I'm sure it feels great.
It feels amazing, but I'm so superstitious, I guess. I've been down this road where we've like kicked the can and we get so close. Like, I mean, honestly, even getting into the top 10 is a feat in itself. So I do consider myself lucky to have had like several. But if it goes #1 this week, it would be my second #1 since I could use a love song. So it would be cool to ring that bell again.
You have posted on one of your social medias that an artist told you, hey, don't worry about the chart. It was, I'm paraphrasing here, like just do you and make sure people like your songs, but just keep doing you. Do you want to say who told you that, who gave you that advice?
It was Miranda.
She was like, just do you.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it.
Well, I'm on her new record, and we've gotten into philosophical conversations about all of this, just the industry. And she's from Texas, so I just feel like we've been sort of kindred spirits over this whole thing. But yeah, she's like, "Where's your song right now?" And I'll be like, "Oh, it's 8. I don't know." And she's like, "Oh, it's a hit." She's like, anything top 15. And if they're singing your words back to you, which I played Faster Horses last week for the first time, and that was my first time really hearing, 35,000 people sing it that loud. Because, when we put the song out as a single, it's very rock. So I didn't know how it was going to fare at radio, but I just believed in it so much. So I'm really sort of floored that it's been my quickest single to date.
Is that right? Your quickest?
Yeah.
Look at you. You're gonna make it. I got a good feeling about this. I do.
I don't need my backup plan.
We're gonna come back. Can you come back in 4 minutes? We good? Can you?
Yeah.
Hear me? All right, cool. Maren Morris is here, and if you guys want to hop on, you can 877-77 Bobby at Maren Morris on Instagram. We will come back in about 4 minutes here on the Bobby Bone Show.
Yeah, the Bobby Bone Show.
on The Bobby Bones Show now.
Maren Morris.
All right, Maren's here. I want to put on Adrian in Texas, who is a police officer. Hey, Adrian.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I have Maren here. What would you like to say?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan. Anytime I have a bad day at work or anything like that, I actually like to put your music on. Kind of helps me just get through whatever's going on at that moment.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you for saying that.
Before you got to go bust some heads. I feel you. That's how I feel.
Texas, yes.
All right, Adrian, appreciate that call,
Thank
bud.
you so much.
Thank you.
You know, in my last book, I wrote that I have a pre-show playlist. It's still the same because I believe I'm not a superstitious guy, but I believe if something's going right, why even mess with it? Like,
Right.
don't even risk the superstition.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, and so on my pre-show playlist, I still have Rich. And I wrote in my book, I talk about, hey, if you find something that works for you, like stay with it. Because if you get your mind right, who knows if it works or not? But if it's working, it's working. Even
Yeah.
if it's a placebo, it's working.
Yeah.
And so on my pre-show playlist, I still, before I go out and do stand-up, I'll play Rich as that, and I have a Pharrell song, and I have a couple others. What are you doing before a show? Talk to me about that.
I mean, to be honest, this past tour, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like this sophomore album jitter thing, but I have been dealing with like massive anxiety before shows, which it used to just be, you know, butterflies before you go on stage, which are good because it gets your adrenaline pumping. But for some reason, the first half of this headline tour, just before the show, I would have to push the show a couple minutes because I was having like a slight panic attack. And then I would get on stage and be totally fine. I don't know. It's just like the buildup is so anxiety inducing.
Because of the success of the first project, is that why? Because you're like, I got to live up to something? To yourself. Maybe not even anybody else, but even to you?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Even when the album came out, it's like you try to enjoy the process of it and the week that it's out and everyone's hearing it for the first time. But you also are just like, oh my God, so many more people are looking at this than they did the first album. So, but I got over it after that first half of the tour, and I could go out and just be totally fine. But I also just like don't really love drinking before shows or like a shot anymore. So I like to be sober when I'm out there. But yeah, I mean, it's like a real thing, anxiety. But now that I'm sort of into festival season and it's been way more communal and fun, and it doesn't feel like it's just me. So that's been good.
Now, in this new studio, I wear inner ears. These are my stage ears that I brought in, but I always have to clean wax out of them. Like every two, are you so big now that someone cleans the wax out of your ears? Because that's the level I'm trying to get to.
Like your in-ears?
Yeah, like these.
Oh, like
the little holes in them?
yeah. Our monitor guy, Chris, I feel like he is always happy, but I was like, I cannot believe part of your job each day is like the entire band.
He has to clean the wax out of everybody's ears?
He has like a machine. Like he doesn't
That's
do
what
it
I
by
need.
hand.
Amy,
Oh,
will
yeah,
you be
you-
my wax cleaner?
Your machine?
Oh my God.
I don't know what, I mean, can I just get like a Clorox wipe and.
No, you gotta like dig in there. It's gross.
Ew.
I know.
Yeah, he
I
has a
know.
machine. This is so disgusting, but he has a machine that he like, it's a tiny tube that he can put in the hole, and it like sucks all the wax out.
That's the grossest
Oh.
part of my morning, having to clean my own ears. Let's go to Saith in Maryland. Hey, Saith, is that your name?
Hi.
Hey, you're on with Maren
my
Morris.
name's Faith. Yes. We were wondering what Maren's inspiration was for her new band, the all-girl band High Women.
Yeah. Well, the inspiration was actually the Highwaymen, which was Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Johnny Cash. So they were sort of like the OG troubadours that started this project, and they started it because they were all successful in their own right, but they were friends and they just wanted to make music together. And we, sort of in a very respectful take on the Highwaymen, created the High Women, and it's just basically all these women coming together and celebrating our songwriting craft and what we go through as women in this industry. Sheryl Crow plays bass. We have Yola. Like, there's so many people on it that are just amazing, amazing musicians. And yeah, so that was the inspiration behind it.
You want to
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
so cool. We love your new album.
Thank you so much.
I forgot she was still on. I'm still getting used to this too. Hey, Saith, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We love your show
Thanks.
and your podcast.
Thank you. Bye-bye. The High Women, talk about your other bandmates in that.
Yeah, so it's me, Brandy Carlisle, Natalie Hemby, and Amanda Shires. And you know, I've written a ton with Natalie Hemby over the last 6 years, and she's been on both of my records as a writer. And then Brandy was on my record Girl with my song Common. So that's how we met. But yeah, like this whole sort of collective came together because Amanda wanted to start this group, and she reached out to Brandy, and then Brandy reached out to me and Natalie to be a part of it. And you know, I'm still mid-cycle of my record Girl, so I'm sure like my manager was like, "You're gonna also join a band like right in the middle of your record cycle," and I was like, "I don't think it's gonna distract at all. It's so different wavelengths." So, but it feels good because it's like I can contribute songs that I've written over the years that are super Americana, super traditional country that maybe wouldn't work in my solo project land, but would work for the Highwomen. And it's just like really soulful, rootsy music. Dave Cobb produced it. And our first show is this Friday at Newport Folk Festival. So we've just been in rehearsals the last few days. But it's some of my proudest work, and to kind of be up there in a band and not be the only person on stage has been so refreshing. And I love to like harmonize, so this is the first time I've really gotten to do that in a band sense.
So it took forever to go from record 1 to record 2, and now you've got record 2 and another project with the Highwomen. Like, are you already writing songs for the next record, or we gotta wait like 10 more years to have something else?
No, I've already started writing. I think the landscape of music is so different now with you know, we just consume it so much quicker. So I don't think I'll wait another 3 years to put a record out. I mean, I might release music next year that's on my own that wouldn't be maybe necessarily a part of a new album, but just, you know, some morsels. I don't know.
I feel like if I don't ask one question about your husband, that I would be doing myself an injustice.
I know.
Because I do love Ryan so much. My question about Ryan, Ryan Hurd, artist, husband, muscular figure, is whenever you guys are on vacation and he has his shirt off and he has muscles in places, he has body parts I don't even have. Like he's just got weird muscular body parts. Does he go get a workout in even on vacation every day?
I mean, most days, not every day.
That's what I need to do. I need to get more workouts in.
I'm
Bobby,
the
you work out enough.
come on. I'm like the lazy bum on vacation. He'll like, even if it's for 20 minutes, he'll go and just to say he did it. Even if he ran for like 5 of it, yeah, he goes.
You were on Women's Health magazine. I saw that. The cover of that.
Yeah.
You're not giving yourself enough credit over there, calling yourself the lazy bum.
I mean,
She
on
meant
vacation.
I know. I
Like,
mean,
she
in
can
general.
relax. But
Yeah.
she works hard every other time.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron Oprea, but
Oh, yeah, you and Amy
I
have
didn't
the
work
same-
out on that vacation.
You and Aaron both.
We
you guys
hiked.
Both work out with Aaron.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron's awesome.
Well,
you
look
know,
at
she whips us into shape.
I'm gonna play Girl. I appreciate you coming by. Congratulations.
I love the studio. Thank you for
very
having
much.
me
Yeah.
here.
And tell Ryan I said hi.
I will.
And tell Pancake I said hi.
We need to get him and Stanley together.
Well, the thing, your dog is so much bigger than mine right now.
Yeah.
Let's give it like 3
But they're
months.
siblings, right?
Yes.
Or at least half
siblings.
Okay.
Like in 3 months, my
Family
dog will
reunion.
go. My dog will go to yours for some advice. Be like, hey, how do I do this? I got an owner who's an idiot. They'll have a talk. It'll be a whole thing. What is your
Okay.
advice for me on bulldogs in general? I've never had one.
Have a good vet on speed dial because they're always in and out of the vet. Pancake's had so many ailments. He tore his ACL a few months ago. Yeah, it's
he on the-
just
Was
I
he
didn't
on the
even
treadmill?
know
What was he
little
doing?
dogs, their legs are this big. They can tear an ACL.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just be prepared. Maybe you'll be luckier than we have been with your bulldog, but Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, like they have a couple bulldogs, I think, and she jokes that you're gonna always need to have a vet on speed dial.
Well, you guys will be my bulldog mentors. As
okay.
I'm mentoring to America, you will mentor to me on the bulldog.
Just ask us, and we've probably been through it with Pancake.
All right, Maren Morris, congratulations. And the Highwomen, Redesigned Women, will play that a little later too. And so
thanks.
check that out. And we'll let you go do your superstar life thing. And we'll play Girl right now. The #1 song it will be this week. And we'll celebrate that next week. All right, Maren Morris, everybody. There she is.
Thank you all.
The Bobby Bones Show.
I was having a pretty good day yesterday, and I was just kind of bebopping around. I had talked to Arkansas Keith. It was his birthday. I had a nice lunch at the house. The dog was acting pretty good. He's a puppy, but he's starting to have dog moments. I'm really enjoying my dog time. I got a good workout in with Jared at my boxing gym. Yesterday was just a pretty solid day. And I get a call, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, it's like one of the people I work with on music. And he was calling me at a random time. You know how sometimes you get that call that's from somebody you often get, but it's not the particular time you're used to, so something's up.
Yeah.
And I go, all right, so I answer the call. And I go, hey, Tom, what's up? He goes, Lil Nas X blocked us from our parody. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, they won't let us put it up. We can't service it to streaming, or we can't do anything. I'm like, if it's a parody, Weird Al built his whole life on this. It's called Old Folks Home. And he goes, yeah, Lil Nas X blocked it.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, I was the first one arguing for Lil Nas X on Good Morning America, on Alone in My Room.
Yeah.
On Instagram, alone in your room.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
Okay, so but you can play it here.
Well, they
Or
can't
nah?
stop me from playing it
Or
here.
nah?
And they've stopped us from putting it on all streaming platforms. And it's still on YouTube. For some reason, it's still on YouTube. Maybe don't tell him.
He won't find out.
But Lil Nas X's team blocked All Folks Home from going up as a parody
Bummer.
from the Raging Idiots. So I was debating on playing it at the Grand Ole Opry on Friday night because I do comedy at the Opry, and now I think we have to.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna play it in Chicago. We're just gonna play it. We're gonna start every
Keep
show with it,
playing it.
and
Yeah. I mean, we may play it 5 times a show.
every other
Just
song.
to rub it in.
So yeah, we got blocked from Lil Nas X's team from putting this song. And I'm just gonna play it now. The song is only 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and he would get all the money for it. By the way, we're not getting any money for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a parody, but they didn't want it. They said it was a joke, or they said it was stupid or something.
Well, I mean,
Wait, was that the quote?
Nope, I don't know what the quote was. But
it
they said
is,
no.
but it's
The
funny.
quote was no. Okay, here it is. And by the way, we'll put it up at bobbybones.com. We'll put it on our Twitter. We'll put the YouTube link up. Stream it like crazy. But then he still gets paid. But whatever. But we can't put it on any of the platforms, iHeartRadio or Apple or Spotify or none of that.
Dang, dude, I thought you were joking.
I thought we were boys. He only follows 700 people on Twitter, and I'm one of them.
oh, wow.
And I went and tweeted him. I was like, what happened to the loyalty, Lil Nas X? You know what he said? Nothing. He didn't even respond. Here is our parody. It's Bobby Bones and the Raging Idiots. Old Folks Home. By the way, call your local radio station or tweet them and tell them to play it. This is a revolution. The man's not going to hold us down. All right. Old Folks Home. Here it is.
Hey, where are you guys going? Why are you leaving me here?
Sometimes you got to make tough decisions for Meemaw. This is that song. Shout out to Meemaw.
Yeah, I'm gonna take me ma to the old folks' home. She gonna sew till she can't no more. I'm gonna take me ma to the old folks' home. She gonna sew till she can't no more.
She's wearing dentures in her mouth. She grew up in the South. She's walking with a cane. She broke her hip, but she's okay. Yeah, at 2 o'clock she'll meet us, but she's got diabetes. Bingo in the evening. Her nurse's name is Steven.
Can't nobody tell her nothing.
Cause she can't hear nothing.
Can't nobody tell her nothing.
Cause she can't hear nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take me ma to the old folks' home. She gonna sew till she can't no more. I'm gonna take me ma to the old folks' home. She gonna sew till she can't no more.
Step back, watch out, here comes Meemaw. Got a new inhaler for her emphysema. Riding down the freeway, but her blinker is broken. Gonna make it to the mall, the power walk before it opens. She's falling down, she can't get back up. She's got a little bit of insure in her cup. I gotta take Meemaw to the old folks' home, where she can sew till she can't no more.
All right, there you go. Old Folks Home from the Raging Idiots. By the way, our big boss is here. He is the head of iHeart Country. I saw him looking in the window. Were you here because Maren was here?
Yeah, to be honest, for sure.
He doesn't come up here this early for us.
I love
We
you all
appreciate
too,
that.
but
We do appreciate though when you pop your head in at 9, and that's nice. We do like that.
do you really though?
Yeah, honestly, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
No. Our studio is basically in the basement of the building.
Yeah,
Would you agree with
yes,
that?
it is back in the way back corner for sure.
So we see no one, and so we like it when you.
I think people are afraid to come back here.
Why do you think that?
That's a good question. I think they think it's off limits. I think they think it's not a too cool thing, but like oh that's a national show. We can't go back there.
That's not the case. So
It's definitely not the case.
like I said, I enjoy it when people are walking around down here. When I see you, you're the head of the whole country.
Well, I'm not afraid to come down here. I'm not really the head of the whole country, but at least I feel comfortable coming in here.
What do you feel about Lil Nas X blocking our parody from being?
I just heard that. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's all just loosen up. Like, there's no downside to that. Just play the song. It's fun.
And it's not like we're making money.
Right.
We're not putting it up for our own money-making effort.
If anything, it's just additional, whatever you want to call it, promotion for a song that's already had promotion beyond belief. So
agree. And you know who was promoting it way early?
The Bobby Bones
Your
show.
boy here.
Yeah.
And how's life?
Life's great.
Good.
Great. How's the studio? You like it?
Do you like it?
I love it.
We're finally getting into it now where we can do our show without worrying about the studio.
Yeah. Well, I still worry about the studio, and I worry for Ray. Ray's the man. He's keeping it all together.
Ray is running not only audio all morning from 2 a.m. to then he runs the show.
Yeah, the whole thing. And it looks good in here, but there's still some duct tape back there that he has to keep it on. But I'm mad I didn't get here before Maren came in. I want to see the artist's reaction when they walk in because they've been here before, and then see this room. And
it's got to be like one of those flip this house things, or like
move that bus.
Move that bus, because it was such. Because I never had a new my whole life. I shared a studio with the radio station, and then whenever I moved here, it was Jerry House's old studio.
Right.
And so, as much as I loved Jerry, it was time.
It was
and now we got the upgrade. Yeah. Let's do this since we have Rod Phillips, the head of iHeartCountry.
Oh gosh.
Just musically, like right now, what do you love? We'll break it in two categories. Songs that are at the top of the charts right now. Like, give me a song that the radio stations play that you're like, I love when I hear that song.
Well, the Luke Combs is hard. It's undeniable. The hook. That's the hookiest big country anthem song we've had in a long time.
The long neck, hot cold beer never broke my heart. That one.
That one.
Yeah.
I won't sing it, but that one.
And then what about on the new artist front? Is there anybody that you're like, man, there's some real pop with this person?
Well, I genuinely do love Tennille Townes and her sound because it's different, it's unique, and she's so super talented. If you see her live, she's unbelievable. The other new stuff that's coming that's lighting up, Jordan Davis probably doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he's really good, and on his third single, and I don't know that people know who he is yet.
Jordan Davis has, if he ever singles you up, if he ever stupid enough. And then he had the other one.
I'll be the first one calling
his
you
other one was, how'd that one? Here's the problem with all the dudes in country music.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
They're all replaceable. And well, let me go back to you. Individually, they're all fine and good and great, but they're all so similar that just someone listening just hears another dude's name and they have one hit and they go away.
Yeah, I think it's hard to differentiate between them.
Well,
take it from me.
And I say that, and I love Jordan as a person. Jordan and I are kind of buds off the air too, but when you have a dude getting a hit and then he doesn't have a hit for another year and a half, and another dude, all these dude names just kind of go together.
Well, he at least has the beard, but people don't. If they don't know, they don't know. They just hear the sound, and it doesn't differentiate enough. So what makes all these guys different from one another? It's hard because there's a lot of them.
Some of them only have 9 abs, and some have 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they got to pull their shirt up to see it.
And some of them only played pro football and not pro baseball and pro football.
Well, we need one more ex-baseball player to have a country song, right?
Just an ex-athlete band of country artists, like the high women.
Yep.
Now we need like the high jockmen, all the ex-jocks. Listen, I appreciate you stopping by. I saw you in the hall.
Thanks for having me. I don't think I was ever a guest in the old studio. Now I'm even more happy about this.
How do you feel about sitting as a guest? Because I'm telling you, the mic thing sounds good. We got to figure it out now.
Yeah, it sounds great. I don't know how I sound.
You sound wonderful.
I can't hear myself.
Your voice is like butter.
Thank you.
Yeah. There he is, Rod Phillips, head of iHeartCountry. Amy, do you have a new artist that you love?
New?
None. No new artists.
Nobody.
No new artists?
Yeah.
No, I mean, Tennille Townes, I mean, Rod mentioning her, like, she's someone that I really, really like, but you turned me on to her when she came in.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how good she was really live until I took her on tour with me. And I was like, oh, she's just shutting down the crowds.
She's great. And as long as you're still on it, Ingrid Andress.
Oh, gosh.
My favorite.
Yeah. Another good one.
She is a person, as an artist. that's going to be big.
All right, there you have it. Rod Phillips, head of iHeartCountry. Let's clap him out here. All right, coming up. Hey, do you want to do our Tell Me Something Good tease? Here, do that. Here he is. Because Rod used to do radio, like real radio.
Oh my gosh.
What was his name?
This is so you can make fun of me.
He was like, this is Rockin' Rod Phillips. Later. Were you Rockin' Rod?
I was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long
Wait,
time
really?
ago.
Yeah, he was Rockin' Rod.
Yeah, but then I got rid of it. Yeah.
Where were you on the
But
air
like
when you were
on
Rockin'
what
Rod?
genre?
In Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah.
And what genre and what was the song
It
you
started as a top 40 station, but then we flipped to oldies because I guess we didn't have good enough ratings.
Well, then that makes sense.
And then it
Rock and Rod.
became Rock and Rod.
It's Rockin' Rod. Here's the Drifters from 1952. By the way, I'll say this. I wrote about Rod in my first book, just for some context. Rod was the very first ever executive in any form, shape, or size to come and go, hey, guy in Austin, Texas, I think your show should actually be on in more places. Like, you were the first person I met outside of my building that ever had any faith in me whatsoever.
Not the only person.
No,
but
outside of my building.
The loudest person.
The only executive, the first person to ever show up and be like, hey, I think there's something to you.
Yeah,
that was
got
it. You were
I
the
got
guy.
you, Bobby.
You were the guy. All right, here we go. Here's our tease. Go ahead.
Coming up next on Tell Me Something Good. I knew
Come on,
he was
Rock and
gonna
Rod.
laugh. I knew he was doing it to make fun of me.
Go ahead.
Should I do even better radio voice? Coming up next and Tell Me Something Good. A barber in Tennessee is giving discounted haircuts to a kid who can do this. Find out what it is up next.
All right, there you have it. All right, back with Rock and Rod's going home, but the Tell Me Something Good is next here. All right, thank you.
Come on, get your Bobby Bones on.
On yesterday's show, we talked about how there were kids at the school and they said, hey, if you don't pay off their lunch debt, they can get taken and go into foster care. And so we were like, man, that seems a bit extreme. That escalated quickly.
Right.
And so I said, someone's going to step up, the community or someone's going to pay this lunch debt. All you need is for it to become public and people go, oh, I'd like to help. I think a big thing and why so many people don't get help is they don't say they need help, including us personally and even things like this, right? So the story comes out. I'm convinced someone's going to come up and go, I'll take care of that $22,000 lunch debt that the kids cannot pay. So, talked about this yesterday. It's in Pennsylvania, the Wyoming Valley West School District. They threaten parents. It will take the kids away. Well, it turns out, look, Column Bay Coffee chief executive Todd Carmichael said, I have $22,000. I will donate it and pay off all of those school lunches.
Oh, wow.
Except the school turned it down.
Wait, why?
According to a spokesperson for the coffee chain, the school board president declined the offer because he claims the money is owed by parents who can afford to pay.
Oh, interesting.
Not interesting. Just let him pay it. Just let him pay it.
Right. I mean, it's just interesting that he's.
Just let him pay it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Pay it. I don't know why you would turn down that money. You're probably not going to get it.
Great point, too. Now, in my mind, this is where I go. I'll talk about my high school for a second. When I grew up, I didn't play basketball because I couldn't afford the shoes. The shoes were like $70, the matching shoes. On the team, you had to have matching tennis shoes, and I didn't want to be embarrassed that I couldn't afford them. And so I did not play basketball. And I always held that with me, and I thought, if I can ever help, I'm going to buy the entire team's shoes so no one has to not play because they can't afford it. So that's what I do. At Mount Pine High School, the entire basketball team, I buy the shoes. So if someone plays and they can't afford it, they never have to even acknowledge it or mention it.
Some of the kids totally
some of them can afford it.
But it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Right.
It does not matter. All I'm trying to do is help out the 4% of people. I have a good job now. Like, I'm good. I happily am willing to cover everybody that can afford it to help those who can't. And with the same theory here, I can't believe they're not taking the money.
Right.
There are some kids who can't afford it.
And then are these kids, like, I'm confused because if they could afford it, I guess is it a free, it's just they show up and they scan their card or whatever and then they're just not paying. I don't know how school lunches work anymore. Like, I used to have actual money, but why is there debt if they can afford it? I thought it was like the free lunch program.
Well, free lunch program, you don't have to pay anything.
Okay,
Free lunch is just, you just show up and it's already taken care of.
Yeah, I guess I'm just wondering how you get in debt at school.
Just wonder why they don't accept this guy's $22,000. Take the money.
Yeah.
Take the money. Channing Tatum gets a permanent restraining order against a home intruder. Now, that's an odd story, but it does get odder. Channing Tatum has been granted a permanent restraining order against a home intruder. The woman broke into his house and then stayed there for 10 days.
What? That's scary.
They were renovating it, so she just squatted.
Mm-hmm. Because she loves Channing, or she just needed a place.
I mean, who doesn't love Channing?
I know, right?
She's been ordered to stay away from the actor, but it also extends to his ex-wife, Jenna Dewan, and their daughter, too. Tatum's attorney said the woman emailed the attorney's office to admit to the break-in, which occurred while the home was vacant due to ongoing renovations. She also apparently agreed to all the terms of the restraining order.
Well, that's nice of her. I love when people are compliant with restraining orders.
Restraining orders are weird, though, because I've had some issues with safety before and had to get a couple of them, but it's only a piece of paper. You can easily walk through a piece of paper and do whatever you want.
Right.
You know? Thanks for hanging out with us here on The Bobby Bone Show. Let's do this.
It's time for the good news.
With Bobby.
Tell me something good.
I love these stories. A barber in Tennessee decided to give discounted haircuts to kids who read while in his chair. Jermaine Scott came up with the idea after noticing most of the kids who came in were glued to their tablets or other electronic devices. I do love my electronic devices.
Yes.
I feel you, kid. He started offering $5 off the $15 haircut. You have to educate your mind. Education is key, Scott says. The discount is offered every Thursday, and the barber provides the books from the local library. He said he didn't see the importance of reading growing up, but now he hopes, and he does, and he hopes it can impact the next generation. So I like that. That's a great one. All right, and that is what it's all about. Thank you.
That was Tell Me Something Good.
Bobby Bones. As a fan and supporter of women in country music.
Transmitting across America.
This is the Bobby Bones Show. That's right. Now here he is. Turn it up. Come on, Bobby.
By the way, in our fantasy draft yesterday of the best country love songs, all the listeners voted the champion was Morgan number 2.
What?
Yeah, she got the most votes.
Wow.
Do you remember your team yesterday that you drafted?
Yeah, it was Amazed by Lone Star, and then I Swear by John Michael Montgomery, and You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
So you only get a point for winning. Morgan number 2, gets a point for winning yesterday.
Congratulations.
So in the draft goes, we move around the first pick the whole
Man.
time. And then if you go first, you end up going last the second round. So it's called the snake draft. But we're going to do another draft coming up in a bit. We're going to draft, fantasy draft, favorite Chris's.
Okay.
All right.
A lot of people named Chris.
A lot.
You know, there are no rules in the draft, by the way, either. So draft as you will.
Okay.
Your favorite Chris. That's the only, your
God.
favorite Chris. No rules.
Yeah,
Well, not
dead or
draft-
alive.
It doesn't,
Doesn't
there are
matter.
no rules in the draft.
Question. Is Christina a Chris?
There are no rules in the draft. As long as Chris, your favorite Chris, it's in there.
Okay.
Your favorite Chris.
Got it.
Interesting.
So we'll do that coming up in a second. Amy had a fancy baby shower she went to last night, which I don't think you felt it was fancy going into it.
No.
You just knew that your friend was having a baby.
Yes.
She was like coming to the baby shower, but she was also teaming up with another friend doing a dual baby shower.
Right.
But Eddie, I was talking to Amy, and this is not Amy dropping names, but it was like heavy name drop. Not from her, but she
No,
was
we
like.
were just talking. Well, I said, yeah.
So her friend is Caroline Hobby, who does the Get Real podcast.
Right.
And Caroline's husband is the lead
Michael
singer of
Hobby.
1,000 Horses.
Mhm.
The joint baby shower was Brett Young, in case you didn't know,
Yeah.
and his wife
Feeling
Taylor,
crazy.
which, by the way, know them, love them. They're good friends. So did you get them both a gift?
I ended up, yes.
You dual
'Cause we talked
gifted.
about it, and
Yeah.
I was like, yes. I knew that I was only being invited because of Caroline, but they're both having babies, and they're both celebrating, and I can. So I got them both gifts.
I click Amy's Insta story last night. John Party's there.
What?
And he's like doing a monologue about how we were screwed out of Family Feud. He's
Oh, yeah, he was at the party. He goes, I'm looking around. He's like, I'm counting blouses. There's no blouses here, but I see like 15 baseball caps.
yeah. So the final question that we had on Family Feud was something above your waist that starts with a B.
Yeah.
And we didn't say blouse. We said baseball hat, baseball cap, whatever it is. And here's John Party last night at the party.
All right, guys. I just want to, just a question. How many blouses are actually being worn right now? And how many baseball hats are being worn? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I saw
And on and on.
He was going to town. Also at this fancy baby shower was Jason Aldean.
What? Aldine was there?
Just like hanging out. He said to tell everybody hi.
Okay.
Yeah. And he watched our Family Feud episode. He said he knew Lauren Elena was going to be on, so that's why he was watching.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, Lauren Elena's going to be on. I got to watch her. And then he turned it on, and he was like, wait, she's on with the Bobby Bone Show? Like, he had no idea. So he said, he watched it, and it was cool. And then, yeah, at the end of the
I
night,
saw
he was like,
Eric Paslay's wife was there.
Yeah, and
he
Eric was there.
Eric
Mhm.
It's the fanciest Nashville baby shower I ever heard of.
and the Deckers.
Oh, Jesse James and Eric Decker?
Mhm.
Yeah?
On Earth.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of other people, too, that.
Drop some more names.
Yeah.
No,
Luke Bryan?
I don't. No, Luke. That would have been fun, though.
Give us one more. Drop one more name at your fancy shower.
I can't think right now. I know there's another one.
It's like, I forgot. Oh, Oprah was
Reba?
there.
Oprah?
No, it was really nice. The weather was amazing. It was beautiful. It was nice. It was fun to celebrate.
The weather.
We're talking about weather.
It was.
We're talking about weather.
Yeah. And like
Amy
Caroline.
doesn't want to name drop. I feel like our listeners like it when I go, oh, check out who I was with. Because,
Yeah.
because I'm just a goober from Mountain Pine, Arkansas, and I'm hanging out with cool people. So I'm kind of their eyes and ears.
Mhm.
Amy's always like, I don't want to. You should though.
Okay, yeah.
You're not telling secrets.
Okay, so who else was
Who
there?
else was there?
I don't
Did your
know.
husband go with you?
He did, and it was fun. Well, the Moklers are there, Steve Mokler and
Yeah.
Gracie. Like, it's our walking gang. So, I mean, it's just everybody. You think like, oh, it's like something crazy because it is when they walk in. You're like, oh, and the fact that it is weird to my husband to see like. Because Jason will come in here, and we know him from work.
just
Jason
Jason.
Aldean.
Just
No,
Jason.
he's like not my. But it is weird to me that because I still because we see them at work things. So it's like I wonder if they actually not Jason, any of the country's superstars like
Aldean.
know our names. But it's like weird to be like, "Hey, Amy, how's it going?" And I'm like, "What? You don't know my
You're
name."
downplaying. Amy's the coolest one of the show.
For
never,
sure.
Never be confused on who the coolest person of this show is. Amy just doesn't play it up. It's you.
Play it up what?
Amy has a walking group with like all the cool people.
Celebs.
They go on a walk and probably. Are you guys like the Nashville female? What's that?
Housewives?
No, what's that group that like controls everything?
What?
Illuminati?
The Illuminati.
Illuminati. Are you in the-
No. What? No.
You're in the Womanati.
No.
The Nashville Womanati.
But anybody's welcome to come walking.
Oh.
We like to
Was Eric Church
take over
there?
the streets. No.
Like, hey, I got you a gift. But
No, but Caroline is definitely like about to pop. Like I was thinking last night, I was like, that baby could come like any minute.
was Tyler Hubbard there?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I saw in his Insta story because I follow Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. They were doing a pregnancy shoot.
Oh.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Those are like a thing.
That's why I want to get pregnant. I want to do a shoot.
Yeah. Were they doing like just a normal one or like one of those sexy ones?
Well, the one he showed was pretty normal, but he was like, you should have seen the picture before this. It was in her birthday suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, yeah, I know. Some women, Caroline, she was saying she did one and she was like, it was so empowering. She was like, and I was just owning and loving my body because of like how it's just crazy that it can create this. And yeah, she's bigger, but she's like, I have like an excuse to be. And it just felt so amazing to be free. Because her and her husband, they definitely took some sexy ones. So where I was like, if I was that baby when I'm born later.
How do you know? Did you see them?
I
She
saw
put them
them.
on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I know.
Oh.
So, but it's like when you're born later in life, you look back and you're like, Mom, Dad, why'd you take that picture when I was in your belly? That's weird. Like, that's what I was thinking. I didn't say that to her, but I'm saying it now. I don't know. But I mean,
What time did you get in last night?
like 9:30.
Not so bad.
Yeah, no. It started at 6:30. It was early.
Well, I'm glad you got them both a gift.
Yes.
You're so fancy.
It was fun. It was fancy. It was fun. Good
Giving you a hard time.
good cake. Well, thanks.
Eric Church, some of it. Didn't come to the party.
Wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. No Eric
But
Church.
we're going to play him now.
Yeah.
Hey, which one of you guys having a baby?
Beer don't keep, love's not cheap, trucks don't wreck themselves.
That's the only rule. There is no rules. Then the listener vote on who they think has the favorite Chris. So we'll draft our teams of the favorite Chris. Lunchbox, you're on the clock with the first overall pick. Do you want to tip us off? Sometimes you tell the first round pick what you want to do. You get to go and sign them early.
Oh, is this the draft?
No, we'll do it in the next bit. But you can.
Oh, no. I'm not going to let you have time to adjust your draft boards.
All right. We're going to do favorite Chris's. That's the fantasy draft coming up. All the draft rooms are going crazy writing down their options right now. All right. We'll do that next. And if you guys want to call us, you can. 877-77-Bobby. That's the phone number. Famous Chris's, favorite Chris's in the fantasy draft coming up next.
Get your Bobby Bones on.
You can watch the entire show right now. If you want, just go over to facebook.com/BobbyBoneShow. You can watch the whole thing as we're doing it right now. That being said, it is now time for our fantasy draft. And today, we will be drafting fantasy Chris's. Any Chris. The only rule. There are no rules in the rule book except draft your favorite Chris. That's the only rule. Now, each person has 3 picks. It'll be 3 rounds. Amy goes first. And it'll go Amy, Lunchbox, Eddie, Morgan, number 2, myself. Then it goes...
Lunchbox
goes first. Okay.
Yeah.
So it goes Lunchbox, and then we go backward to make it even. All right, Lunchbox, with the first pick of the Chris draft, who are you selecting?
It's easy, guys. Number 1 pick. I mean, first Chris that comes to your mind when you think Chris. You want to laugh all the time. So I'm hanging out all the time with Chris Rock.
Ooh, solid number 1. Solid number 1 pick. All right, Eddie.
Yep, this is easy, guys. I mean, I have to get him early because I'm sure a lot of you guys have him on your list. I'm going with Jesus Christ.
I was going to pick
He
Christmas.
is the original.
I was going to pick Christmas.
He is the original Chris, Jesus Christ.
Now, listeners may not... Listen, they're voting.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't.
What?
Hey, Amy, you didn't think about that, did you?
I didn't. You're right. I didn't. I thought of legit Chris.
Can I still pick Christmas? I can still pick Christmas.
I think so. Father Christmas,
Let's
maybe?
see how it comes back. No, just Christmas in general.
That's a day. That's not a person.
It's just your favorite Chris. We're not arguing about rules, guys.
Right.
That's the only rule. Just play the game. If
Thank
you
you.
don't follow the rule, the listeners won't vote you in. By the way, there's no fighting in this game anymore. If anyone fights, they just go home. You just go home. Tired of all the fighting. Morgan, number 2, you're up.
I was going to do Christmas, but
come on.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait. I'll let you have it. I'm going to go with Chris Hemsworth.
Solid Chris pick.
Solid.
If you can't go Christmas, go Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, right? Y'all are taking them all.
Are you nervous, Bones?
Well, that Christmas pick, though, you've already picked Christ,
But
which starts with CHRIS.
correct, Chris.
Chris. I'm going to go with...
This is so dumb.
With the 4th pick in the draft, I'm going to go with Chris Pratt.
Solid.
Yeah. I just feel like there's a lot of value in that pick right here. I'm going to go Chris Pratt. Amy?
I'm going another funny guy, Chris Farley.
Oh, that's a good one, Amy.
Yeah.
I'll take him off my list.
All right, Dead.
We already got Chris Rock. That's okay.
I know, just making sure people know.
Oh, are you tainting my list?
No. Go ahead. Next,
Oh,
next you
Jesus
get 2.
Christ is dead too.
You get, not in my mind.
Oh,
You
yeah,
get-
he's
right.
risen.
Good one,
you get,
Bones.
Oh,
you get 2
shoot,
picks,
he's
Amy.
not
alive.
dead.
Go ahead.
You're right.
Your second pick, Amy?
Oh, yeah, background to me. Kris Jenner, baller businesswoman, mom of the Kardashians. How
That's
fun
a
is
pretty
that?
solid
one.
Chris.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid Chris. For my second pick, I will pick Christmas. That's right. In the second round,
Wow.
my
Boom.
favorite Chris is Christmas.
Boom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Morgan, number 2. You're in the fantasy draft. In the second round, who's your next Chris?
I'm going with another very attractive actor, Chris Evans.
Yeah, Captain
She's
America.
going to win again for all the looks.
Hey, pander to who you want to pander to.
Okay.
Eddie.
I'm going to stay with the Christmas theme, and I'm going to go with Santa Claus, Kris Kringle.
Oh!
Thank you very much.
guess.
Thank you.
Dude, you got Christ and Kringle. No! We're done.
Hey, good luck this season,
Oh,
guys.
gosh. Okay.
Good luck.
Oh! Wow! Eddie's the GM of the year.
Come on, guys.
Well, let's just see who he brings in third.
He's the Theo Epstein of the Chris draft.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, what you got?
2 solid picks. Lunchbox, the last pick of the second round.
It's easy, guys. I'm going to be laughing a lot with Chris Rock, and I need a good concert and enjoy. So I'm going with Chris Martin.
Solid pick.
Good one.
I had him as a possible
Yeah.
third rounder
Yeah, I'll
here.
scratch him off.
Whew.
All right. Lunchbox, you get your last pick here.
Oh, I do? Okay. Well, I am going to have another concert, and just give me Chris Cornell.
Oh, R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
All right. Eddie?
This one's tough, guys. For the last one, I'm going to go with the man that discovered America, Christopher Columbus.
He's a murderer!
Yeah,
You should
people
never
hate
pick
him.
him!
Wow.
Yeah, I
He
thought
went to
it-
Haiti
yeah.
and killed everybody!
And that's not nice, is
Yeah,
it?
there's.
Jesus and Christopher Columbus will not get along. I'm just letting you know
Yeah,
right
good
now.
point. That's
Well-
like, you don't want infight in your team.
But
The
no,
third round got him.
Oh, boy.
Jesus won't judge him.
Oh, Jesus
forgive him.
forgives.
Yes, he'll
Jesus
forgive him.
forgives.
Christopher Columbus was a bad dude.
I know he was.
Yeah, that's a controversial pick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but then I'll get a lot of press this season.
Ooh. All right. Morgan, number 2. Your third round, Chris.
I'm going to stick with my actors and go with Chris Pine.
Okay, from Star Trek. What else
Yep.
did he do? Do we know?
He's in a lot.
All right.
He's also very attractive.
Well, I got a couple Chris's up here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here on the Chris's. And so far, I have Chris Pratt, which I feel is pretty solid. The space movie, what's that called? Captains of America? Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you. Chris Pratt. And then I have Christmas, which I feel is strong.
Christmas.
My third pick is the Notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace.
Oh, that is so good.
Thank you very much.
No one thought about that.
that one.
Biggie.
Amy, who's your third round Chris?
Well, I'm just hoping he brings his harmonica, Chris Jansen.
Oh,
Okay.
solid. Solid Chris. And playing toward our audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know.
I mean, it's going to be fun.
They know. Wow. I'm looking at the teams here. Eddie, I love your picks.
Thank you.
The first two, I thought, give this guy an award. He's won the championship.
Yeah. And then I came out with the Christopher Columbus.
But if people know, I don't think a lot of people really understand how bad of a dude Christopher Columbus was.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll just see it. Where are they voting, Morgan, number 2 on this?
Facebook.
Okay, so they may not know.
And do we have proof of all this, or is this just hearsay?
No.
No, like my friends that are teachers are like, sometimes they don't like teaching about it because
Okay.
it's like,
Dude, and by the way, he never came to America. You know that,
Didn't?
right? No. No.
Where did he go?
He went to the islands that they think it's Haiti.
Oh.
And so when they were looking for back into history, going, we need to act like America's been more established. When can we say someone discovered America? They were like, well, you know, Christopher Columbus, let's just say he discovered America in 1492. He never actually came to the mainland. He just sailed back.
That's not what they taught us in school.
I know.
right,
After
which
he
is
like
why my friends that are teachers struggle.
killed people,
Yeah.
help people is bad.
Yeah, I didn't do that research before I drafted him. but
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You should know
I
your
might trade
player's
him.
history.
Oh, you want to trade him?
I might trade him later
Okay, you give me Christopher Columbus,
for Christmas.
and I'll give you a third-round pick in 2021. That's what we do here. And anyone you want. All right.
Think about it.
Let me say this, by the way, because CMA Fest is coming up, and Maren Morris was in earlier. And a big Maren Morris fan, she will be performing. She will have a spot with her and Brandy Carlisle. But CMA Fest, Sunday, August 4th at 8/7 Central. It is a 3-hour special, and it's hosted by 2 of my favorite hosts, Thomas Rhett and Kelsey Ballerini, and one host that, well, we'll just see how it goes. That's me.
you.
That's me. That's right. Please watch. We could use the ratings. Special collaborations, including Lil Nas X with Billy Ray Cyrus and Keith Urban. Obviously, Chris Jansen, who's on Amy's All Chris team, will be performing. Are there any other Chris's? No. But people like Blake Shelton and Thomas Rhett. And I don't know, there's a lot of people playing.
A lot.
There you go. Is Blake Shelton on it? He's a dot here. I don't think I saw Blake at the show. Maybe that's a wrong. But it says Blake Shelton, right? I don't know. Anyway, watch it. Please watch it. CMAfest.com. Which, by the way, our Family Feud ratings for our show, they were up. We had a
really?
good number. Yeah.
Oh.
We had a good number. Yeah, pretty pumped about that. We got the iHeartRadio put out the podcast results. We had the #1 podcast too in the whole company, which is crazy.
It's amazing.
I'm just so thankful to our listeners that allow us to go on and do stuff because nobody thinks we're going to do anything. Nobody's like, who cares about the people from country? That's always the word. Who cares about the people from country? Bobby Bones, he's from country. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what is said by all the elites, all the coasters.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like, country, who cares? And I'm like, you know who cares? Normal folks. Like, put me on. I represent them. They're going to watch. Anyway, then we lost. And John Party was still mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let me talk to George in Virginia real quick. George is calling the Bobby Bone Show right now. George, how are you, bud?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
We're good. We just had our all Chris fantasy draft. How'd you feel about that?
I enjoyed it. Definitely, the whole fantasy of it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, a lot of Chris's hanging out.
Fantasy.
Yeah. What would you like to say?
I just want to say, man, I appreciate all y'all. Been listening to y'all since all started, pretty much. I've, write country music whenever I can, but y'all inspire me to don't give up. As I'm a dad, you know how it gets, and it's just like you got to grind and do what you need to do to get things done. But I'm driving to Surrey, Virginia today, kind of near Jamestown, by the way. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that's listening, and you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. And keep grinding, brother.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Remember, it's not over until you quit. So the only time that your dream is over is when you quit. When you quit dreaming, that's when it's over. Otherwise, keep at it. Keep plugging away.
We'll do, brother.
All right,
we'll
buddy.
do.
Thank you for
y'all so
calling.
much.
There he is.
All right, bye.
If we did a Kane draft, probably Kane the wrestler.
Kane Brown.
Kane, well, draft's over. Here's Kane Brown, heaven. Bobby Bone Show. Maybe Tim Kane.
Okay.
Former vice presidential
Candy
nominee.
cane.
Oh, Candy
Ooh,
Cane.
Amy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. How about,
Yes.
Oh, Kane, the DJ.
oh, yeah, Kane in the morning.
This is perfect.
check out the podcast after the show today. We do a whole after show. Sometimes it goes 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it goes 40 minutes. But check out the podcast. And we just were told we were the biggest podcast in the whole world a couple days ago, which we're pretty pumped about. Which is pretty crazy. So, yeah, check it out. Just search Bobby Bone Show on demand on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can hear the Maren Morris interview. She was in today for about 25, 30 minutes or so. And I do want to play some of her song. This is The High Women. It's her new band. And this is Redesigning Women. Here you go.
Redesigning women, running the world while we're cleaning up the kitchen, making bangs, shaking hands, driving 80, trying to get home just to feed the baby, skipping the bread for the butter, changing our minds like we change our hair color. Yeah, ever since the beginning, we've been redesigning women.
Talks about that. We got a nice chat today. So check that out after the show's over and listen to the show. I mean, we start way early, so you can listen to many hours while you're at work today. Let me go talk to Dusty in Virginia, who's on the phone right now. Dusty, welcome to the Bobby Bone Show. What's up, man?
Not much. Out on 64 right now, outside of Chesterfield, Virginia. I drive all over the country, and I always make a point to look for your show. And I want to tell all of y'all, I appreciate everything y'all do.
Oh,
a lot of radio shows now focus and over publicize all the bad and the negative in the world, and I really enjoy y'all's Tell Me Something Good segment and how y'all focus on bringing light into all the over publicized darkness.
We appreciate that, man. 55 after every hour, we try to get that Tell Me Something Good on, and be safe out there.
All right, man.
All right, Dusty. There's Dusty in Virginia. I was reading this story about how much people make per Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this story? They have the top 10 celeb Instagram rich list.
Okay.
Did you see it at all? So I'm not going to spoil it.
You're not spoiling anything. I haven't seen it.
All right.
I mean, I can guess some people that are on top.
Well, it's not so much about on top.
But it's how much they're
It's
getting.
how much they're getting paid
Mm-hmm.
per Instagram post. So we can roll through 7 to 6 without any drum roll, Ray, because I'll just roll through them pretty quick. Number 10, Justin Bieber. I say 7 to 6?
Mm-hmm.
10 to 6.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber makes $722,000 a post. At number 10, by the way.
Wow, he's at 10?
The soccer player Neymar, $720,000, same amount. Taylor Swift at number 8, $748,000 a post. Beyonce at 7, $785,000 a post. The Rock makes $882,000 a post. He's number 6.
Wow.
That's just one post on Instagram. That's what they're making. By the way, I rarely do sponsor posts. I will for businesses that I already have a relationship with. For example, Metamucil, which came to me, by the way. And they were like, hey, you're already talking about us. And Fiber, will you just talk about us and let us sponsor it? And I was like, of course I will. Yeah. Bose headphones, I work with them. So I never tummy tea. You will not see me doing tummy tea like a lot of these people do. Number 5, drum roll, please, Raymundo. On the top 10 Instagram rich list, making $886,000 per Instagram post. Selena Gomez.
Wow.
Number 4, making $910,000 per Instagram post. Kim Kardashian.
Wow, that should be in the millions.
You did? I didn't think anybody would be in the millions. There's only one person in the millions.
Okay.
Number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 2, Ariana Grande making $996,000. Can't they just break her $4,000 more dollars?
Right, just make it a mill.
$996. Can't they just go? Can't they negotiate that a little better for her? And then number 1 is Kylie Jenner, making $1.2 million per Instagram post.
So crazy.
Yeah. So whenever they're, hey, we'd like to have you sponsor a post, that's how much their rate is. Okay, show me the money. But if they didn't get their money back on this, they wouldn't spend it.
Right.
Meaning it's worth it to them. A lot of times people will go, why would I buy social media or why would I buy digital media? It's like, do you want to catch eyeballs or not? Like, you can buy traditional. You can go and buy the local news, I guess. But do you want to catch the visual? Do you want to catch eyeballs? Because there are more people watching YouTube videos than insert whatever else at times.
Right. I'm buying more now from things I see on Instagram or things that people post, whether it's sponsored or not.
Yeah.
Like just influencers or people that I follow that I trust. That I'm like, oh, well, if they're using it and they like it, like I'm just gonna swipe up and click it, and like it's just so easy because it's all right there. It's kind of bad that it's that easy, but
I do get offers to go, hey, will you do? And I feel like my Instagram feed, I have to be like truthful about things, or no one's gonna believe anything I post ever.
Right.
So if you do see me, like Pepto-Bismol, I did one for them like 2 months ago, month ago. You better believe I use Pepto-Bismol. And by the way, they're not paying me to mention this, but yeah, it seems like easy money. I wish $1 million for a post. And by the way, that they're worth it.
yeah, that's why she's the youngest female billionaire.
Don't get into that self-made stuff.
Right, she's not self-made.
Well, it depends who you talk to.
I'm talking to me.
Okay, well, do you feel like she's self-made?
I don't.
Yeah, she had a platform
She
that
had
she
a
kind of
platform.
walked into.
Like
yeah.
I don't. Nope, should not. It was already there. Now she's worked hard, and maybe she's had some great ideas, and she's a businesswoman and an entrepreneur, sure, but she had mass audience already.
Yes, there you go. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk on Instagram. I'm going to play Dustin Lynch. Small Town Boy, Bobby Bone Show. Thank you guys for hanging out. You want to call us 877-77, Bobby. That's the number.